Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another action-packed episode of Warring to Attitude. And I told myself before we got on here I was actually going to look up and see what episode it was because, as you can see on the screen there, I wrote 60-something. It is episode 63 of Warring to Attitude. I knew I would figure it out, and I did. I'm your host, Brent Piles, who is almost always sure what the number of episodes this is. And with me, as always, is a person who probably doesn't ever know what episode this is. He probably will look it up as well. But he is the Barroom Brawling Disco Dance and Dynamite Session Intercontinental Champion. Folks, he's more over than... I don't know what he's more over than this week. He's more over than giving your hotel room key to Dominic. And Jerry Lawler.
I'm doing well. Yeah, you totally confused me. Because up there it says WTA episode 6.
Something. Yeah. I wasn't sure when I made it, and I was like, "Oh, I'll definitely look it up before we start," and I didn't. So,
to be fair, episode 6 something is probably the best episode of Raw we've watched so far.
It's probably up there. I mean, there was maybe one good wrestling match, but there was so many good, memorable Raw moments just on this one show. So
yeah, and even the other wrestling, there was a bit of wrestling. We've had episodes where there's been no wrestling at all.
That's a good point. Where the only match was like a 2-minute match. That's a really good point. Yeah. So it was actually it was a really interesting show. That's for sure. As we've only got, I think, 2 more after this one. Glenn, are you sad to see 1997 go?
Not particularly. I'm looking forward to 1998. We'll have to do a New Year special.
Yeah, I was thinking about going back through the old episodes because just so people know, when we do end 97, we probably will take a couple of weeks off before we start up 1998.
Yeah.
And I thought about going back and making like a best of show where I can, show all the moments I tortured Glenn with the rockabilly song. And I think that'd be a good thing to do. I also think it would be fun to maybe go back and like not a whole bunch of these, but a few of the old promo things that we watch and decide like which one we thought was the best or something like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe if I put like 4 matches from 1997 and we could like pick which match we thought was the best match. Maybe if you could think of a couple and I could think of a couple, we could give out some maybe awards. Not a bunch of them, but like 4 or 5 97 AWI Pod awards. You know what I mean?
You know what? Most of them are going to involve Max Mini, don't you?
I believe that all of them are going to involve either Max Mini or Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
I don't know who else it could be. This is usually the part where we talk about football, but the only football we've really got to talk about right now. Well, I suppose I could discuss with you the absolutely dreadful showing of the U.S. men's national team, who were smoked by Colombia this past weekend. I believe it was 5-1 was the final score. It was bad. We were not good. They got everything they wanted from us. Let's just say that. Like I said, the way I would describe this game, it was like we came out, we had drank freaking NyQuil, and the Colombian guys had taken cocaine. That's what the game was like.
Yeah, well, England lost their last warm-up match before the Euros as well, so it wasn't a good week for football.
No, it wasn't a good week of football. But the Euros are coming up on Friday. We were just discussing before we got on there. Glenn was telling me about how he can't get excited about it until maybe England gets out of the group stage. And as I told him, as an American, I have no dog in that fight. So the only thing that I can root for is that all the Arsenal guys come out uninjured.
Yeah. Folks, keep your ears open and eyes open for news on the Euroast, which will be coming up in about 4 or 5 weeks.
I cannot wait to make fun of people. I don't know if anybody knows this about me. Maybe this makes me a terrible person, but I enjoy making fun of others. Objectively. But if you want to make fun of me, I'm fine with that too. I'm a toothless hick. I live in Nebraska. Say whatever you want. Can't hurt my feelings.
To be fair, most of the people that watch and listen to us do it because you take the piss.
Right.
So they probably all know it by now anyway.
I would hope so. I would hope so. I would hope you find that my
Not
my
going to find
German
many
is
people
charming.
that get easily offended watching us, are you?
I mean, if I did, they've gone away a long time ago. So
Yeah.
yeah, but be on the lookout for that. Where I will. They will show me soccer players, most of whom I probably won't know who they are, and I'm gonna say what I
That's
think
the
about
idea.
and that should be a lot of fun. So be on the lookout for that. But we don't really have any other sports to talk about. If you want to hear us talk about current wrestling, we will be live tonight. As you're watching this, we will be live tonight at 7:30 Central Time. So that would be 8:30 Eastern Time ish. We will be doing Clash at the Castle Picks, and then we will be watching some Memphis Wrestling. We call it Walking in Memphis. It's episode 4, I think, from CWA Memphis Wrestling from 1983. It's always a lot of fun when we do those, and you never really know what's going to happen because we get weird. So it's Wednesday night weird when we watch that. So, and we'll probably discuss current wrestling. We'll probably talk a little about the NXT show if we've all watched it, and everything else. So if you're looking for some of that, make sure you check that out tomorrow or wherever out throughout the week. It'll be on YouTube or your favorite podcast app. As always. But now, Glenn, what do you say? Should we get into this?
I think so. There's a lot to talk about in this.
There is. It is December 15th, 1997, from the Whitmore Center in Durham, New Hampshire. This show was actually taped on December 9th and aired on December 15th. Not a whole lot to note from this arena. Opened in 1995, but this was the only wrestling show to ever take place here. Nothing cool ever happened here. Just some high school and college hockey that we're not going to talk about because why. And also, our third to last episode of Warring the Attitude. We've only got 2 more episodes of Raw to review after this. I think I already mentioned that once, but I wrote it in here, so I said it again. A little bit of a surprise. I did not expect to see The Undertaker kick off the show. Are you surprised by this as well?
I was. Because apart from the Kane thing, he's not really been involved in any stories lately.
No, and I think we've only seen him on TV a couple times since the Bad Blood match, even. So, yeah, so he comes down to the ring. Michael Cole's in there to interview him. We do find out that at the Royal Rumble, he will face Shawn Michaels for the WWF Championship in a casket match. If this is all on the up and up, it's not. It's all a shoot. If you're Shawn Michaels in the back and you're like, what the fuck? How did I end up in a casket match with him? Like, why?
Yeah, that's right.
Why a casket match? What the fuck?
And why is it the Undertaker? I've pissed so many people off that be wanting to fight me, and yet you give me the Undertaker in a casket match.
Yeah, it was probably the only guy that Michaels would agree to work with. Is probably what it was. Probably what it was. Let's hear a little bit of what the old Undertaker had to say here.
Oh, yeah.
When you won the World Wrestling Federation title, you thought you had the world in your hand. But what comes with the title is the #1 contender. So what it means is you have to look into the eyes of the Reaper. And you know when you look into the eyes of the Reaper, one-on-one, you can't beat me. So what it all boils down to is that the Royal Rumble, you better give your soul to the Lord, because the rest of your scrawny belong to me.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this era Undertaker is my favorite because he was really cutting good promos at this time. Yeah, and this was about the time where they really actually let him come out of the show because he didn't have Paul Bearer to do it for him anymore. So
that's right. And also, he's at his scariest.
yes,
The whole black thing and he doesn't look like a cartoon bloody mortuary attendant anymore.
Right.
He looks like some sort of spooky being.
Right. He looks like somebody if you saw walking down the street, you would go to the other side of the street so you didn't have to walk past him.
I would go 2 blocks over.
Yeah, definitely.
Past him.
Hold on, Glenn. I gotta go sort these stuff. Yes, in your case, when like if you had gotten on the bus and you had saw somebody like that, you would just go get on another bus, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Especially in America, because you don't know what that guy's up to. So yeah, Kane and Paul Bearer then make their way down to the ring. I meant to get the sound of his music playing in their video, but I must have cut off a little more than I wanted to.
Yeah, just before they come out, though, I love what he says that the last time he lost the any time he lost a casket match, it took 10 men to beat him. And the Generation X doesn't have 10 people in it. And Michaels doesn't have 10 friends.
That's probably true. He's only got 2 in the back, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know if you know what he's referencing. It's the 1994 Royal Rumble, and go back and have a look at that. Our cohort, and other co-host Mayor of Canton loves that match between the Undertaker and Yokozuna. I know it's one of his favorite matches. I actually believe he said that that's the day he knew that wrestling was definitely not real.
Yeah.
Was that day? Yeah, so Paul Bearer and Kane make their way down to the ring. You know, they kind of get face to face with each other, and let's see what the Undertaker family has to talk about here.
What a beautiful family portrait this is! The only thing that's missing, Undertaker, is your parents! The parents that you murdered! He suffered for 20 years, and it's all your fault! One more chance! One more chance to step up to the plate! One more chance to be a man for all your leeches of the night! You must face your brother! Yes, you must face him!
Oh man! Big slap there by Kane. I mean, I think this is really their first like face to face, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Oh no, there was one other time.
Go ahead.
I thought there was one other time when the Undertaker just got out of the ring and walked away when Kane came out, but I could be wrong.
That could be very well be. I remember him coming out and him being Paul Bearer and him talking but they talked from the ramp. They didn't make their way to the ring just yet. Mm-hmm. So, I liked how like when Kane's music does hit, JR's like, oh, I mean, you can almost feel, you almost feel Kane's presence that he was coming out here. I don't know. I just thought it was a nice touch.
Yeah, especially seeing as it's gone all red and the lights have gone out.
Right.
He should by now that Kane's coming out.
Definitely. He tries to throw a second punch, which Taker blocks, and you think maybe he's gonna fight back, but he doesn't. He just shakes his head, leaves the ring, and then he takes a long, hard look back at his brother as we go to a commercial break. I mean, this was really well done. Another iconic moment. I mean, not that I remembered this moment as an iconic moment, as like more of what we'll talk about later, but when you look back on it, I mean, one of their first or second, we're not 100% sure on that. We're here face to face. I mean, a pretty big moment.
It was, especially with Paul Bearer hiding behind Kane the whole time.
I mean, if I was Paul Bearer, that's what I would do.
On the outside of him, and then call in the Undertaker's fans leeches.
Yeah, leeches of the night. Yeah,
leeches of the night.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, so good stuff there. Then we got a commercial after that, which for WWF the Music Volume 2. Glenn, I need to know favorite wrestling theme of all time. What are you picking? Is it Real American?
No, it's not.
I knew it wouldn't be.
Favorite of all time? That's a hard one.
Okay, can you give me 3? Give me 3 of your favorites. They
Ric
can be
Flair.
3 Joe Hendry songs too if you want to.
yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody. Ric Flair,
Classic.
Macho Man, and Randy Orton.
Like the current one that I hear with the voices one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good
I hear voices in my head.
That is a good one. It would be hard for me to even just pick 3. I can tell you one that I always enjoy listening to is Batista's, and I might say that Batista's is my favorite because it's good to, like, when you're amped up about something, you can sing that song, and it's a lot of fun to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Talk about themes. You know one that pisses me off?
Which one?
And it's all down to you Americans.
Oh boy.
It's the Sami Zayn one. Now, back in the early 80s, I was a ska boy.
Oh, okay.
And that, by no stretch of the imagination, is ska music, despite the fact that every time he comes out, commentary mention it as ska music.
I've heard it mentioned as ska music too, yeah.
And it's not, because ska music has a reggae beat, and that definitely doesn't have a reggae beat.
No, it absolutely does not have any sort of reggae beat in it. No, I quite like Sami Zayn's theme, but you're right. Maybe it's not.
No, the theme itself is all right. It's just that they're mislabeling it. That pisses me off.
That's fair. That's fair. And then they showed us some footage of Taka Michinoku being beat up by the King and by the King and Brian Christopher last week. Not the King and Jerry Lawler, because that would be weird. Lock up your daughters if there's 2 Jerry Lawlers, allegedly. So yeah, the King versus Taka Michinoku is our next match.
This is a surprise.
I mean, it was a lot better than you would think it would be.
Yeah, and it was a surprise that they matched up the King with Taka.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Brian Christopher had like heartburn or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. But yeah,
it took him 5.5 minutes to get out there, so
it did. So JR is trying to teach Taka some Japanese words. The King says, and so he tells him the word for small and the word for big, because Taka is small and he's big, and a bunch of other nonsense. Then they tell us that Taka's giving up 50 pounds to the King. It's all in one area too for the King too, just in the
just in the midriff there.
Midriff region, I believe. That's where all the ice cream sundaes are sitting, I think. What did you think about this match between Taka and the King?
Better than it could have been. Taka obviously worked down to the King's pace, which didn't suit him that much, but it was still not a bad match.
Yeah, I mean it's Jerry Lawler, and you know we all know that Taka Michinoku, I believe, is still wrestling nowadays. So I mean he can go.
Yeah.
So it should be no surprise that it was at least a decent match. They gave it more time than I thought they would, because I figured Brian Christopher would come out here and it would happen quickly. But I mean I don't think they went a long time, but they probably got at least 4 minutes.
It was 5 minutes 42.
So I mean that's not bad considering most Raw matches get like 2 minutes or 3 minutes.
That's right.
Yeah,
and the ending was good as well, where it was the King's mistake doing one of his patented moves of coming off the second rope with a fish drop and missing. That gives Taka the chance to do the Michinoku driver on him.
Yeah, definitely. It was. I mean, as good as you could expect this match to be, I think it was. BC hits Brian Christopher does hit the ring after he hits the Michinoku driver. While the pin is being counted, so Taka does win by DQ. Taka fights them both off, but then the King grabs him from behind, and they try to punch Taka, but he punches his daddy instead. So Taka Michinoku gets the better of these guys.
I love that they reversed it this week, where the face got a beating last week, and this week the heels came up short.
Yeah, they got their comeuppance this week.
Yeah.
We then hear about JR teasing the superstar line. He says that DX nearly caused a riot at a house show over the weekend. So I had to look into this, Glenn. It's a bad weekend for WWF with bad crowds. Apparently, they had problems at 2 shows, one in Memphis, Tennessee, and one in Little Rock, Arkansas. The main events of both shows were canceled because fans were throwing trash into the ring. At the show in Little Rock, in particular, Triple H was hit in the face with a wad of chewing tobacco juice, and then HBK got on the mic and said, "Well, that just cost you the main event," and they left the ring. The fans then started throwing chairs, empty liquor bottles. Eventually, the police had to come in and use fucking tear gas, Glenn. Tear gas. To clear out these angry Southerners. A few people were arrested, and one man was even taken to the hospital. So, not a good weekend for WWE house shows.
No. You try telling these people that this shit isn't real.
Not in Memphis, man. They won't hear it. Memphis and wherever other place I said. I read one place that the show took place on a Monday night, and so everybody thought that it was a Monday Night Raw taping or Monday Night Raw show. But then they got there and found out the Raw had already been taped the previous week, and so it was just a regular show, and so people were already pissed. Apparently, on one of the shows too, after I think this was the Memphis show where they didn't have to get the tear gas or anything. Dude Love went out there and tried to get everybody to chant for Shawn Michaels to come back out, but he never came, and the people got even madder.
That really helps.
Yeah, thanks, dude. You forgot Shawn Michaels is an asshole, and that's not going to help.
No.
Okay, so then the Nation of Domination comes down to the ring with a new Intercontinental Champion, The Rock, but he's missing the Intercontinental Championship belt because it was taken from him by former champion Steve Austin. He gets on the mic, talks about how he's the undisputed Intercontinental Champion, the People's Champion, the greatest Intercontinental Champion. Farouk tries to say something, and The Rock says, "With all due respect, the champ's talking."
We're into full rock mode now, aren't we?
Yeah, that was really good. The look on Farouk's face as he's looking at the other members of the Nation, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It was really good. He says he's unhappy because that gutless thief Steve Austin stole our, meaning the fans' Intercontinental Championship belt, and then he orders Austin to give him the belt back. Austin music hits. He comes out. They don't have the belt with him. He says, "I don't know if you've missed it, but you don't order Steve Austin to do anything." He says he stole the belt from him just like he did from Austin because he's a piece of trash. He asks if he wants the belt back. He says he should just stick around and watch a monitor, and says when you're messing with 316, you should know that you're in way over your head, which is some foreshadowing if you think about it. Austin then leaves. The Rock says Austin has 1 hour to return the Intercontinental Championship belt, or the Nation will find him, drag him back out here, and beat him. And I thought to myself, why didn't you just chase him down now? I think that would be the best option. He said he was leaving.
Yeah. It was just convenient that it gave him an hour, and it was an hour up to the other side of the ad breaks into hour 2.
It's almost crazy as if how that happened. Well, it's almost as if they timed it out that way, would you say? And considering this is a tape show, it was a much easier way to do it. They didn't. So, do you remember this Ken Shamrock WF Attitude video?
No.
Well, yeah, you probably don't because he's whispering the whole time. You couldn't understand a fucking word he was saying.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm deaf, but fuck.
I know. It's just terrible.
Like the world's most dangerous man, more like the world's most hardest man to hear because I can't hear shit when he's.
Well, just quietest man.
The world's most dangerously quiet man because I can't hear him. Yeah, I didn't get it. It was fine. If I could have heard him, I bet it was really good. But I could. So next match is Dude Love battling the Road Dogg. He beat Billy last week, so he's gonna face Road Dogg this week. Billy really showed us this week why they let Road Dogg do the talking when they come out to the ring, because Billy.
Oh, definitely. He's no good at it.
No, he really isn't. I mean, Billy Gunn is a fine promo, but just the way he tried to do the
Oh, you didn't know?
Yeah, it just didn't work. It just didn't work. I doubt we'll ever see that again. I could be wrong. We might see it every week out from here. Road Dogg was mocking Dude Love's dance during the match, which I loved. And then so Billy Gunn is on commentary, and didn't to use it was added in post, it didn't sound like it was live in the arena to me.
Yeah, probably. There's a lot of shenanigans went on at that time.
Yeah, so it was very strange sounding to us. They do tell us during this that Steve Austin has in fact left the arena. Did you notice when JR referred to these guys as the New Age Outlaws?
Yeah, said he said they should call themselves the New Age Outlaws.
And then I think Billy said something like, "That's great. I'm going to use that. I'm glad I thought of that," as if he thought of it himself. But, yeah. What do you think about this Dude Love? I thought it was a fine match. I mean, Road Dogg's not really the worker of the crew, but this was fine.
I love it when what Mick Foley's doing here. That Dude Love's taking some punishment and he's trying to fight off Cactus Jack and Mankind.
Oh yeah, that was really cool. Yeah.
You could see they were trying to come through, but he was trying to fight them off. He was trying to finish the match with Dude Love.
Yeah, because he starts pulling his hair out. He does the mandible claw.
And then the bang bang.
Yeah, the bang bangs. Yeah, he goes outside. He takes Billy out too. He hits a double arm DDT. And he beats Road Dogg too. But then Billy immediately gets in the ring and they hit him with a steel chair after the match. But then we see more of Mankind carts start coming through as he starts brawling with Billy up the ramp until Road Dogg jumps him from behind, and they start beating Dude up the ramp. They hit a double suplex on him. It looks like they might throw him off the stage, but then Dude blocks it. But then they end up DDTing him on the stage, and then they take one of the refs and throw him into Dude Love, and then Dude Love crashes down off the stage, which just becomes a big thing of people being thrown off the stage. It's like someone died because they've been thrown 8 feet off the stage.
Yeah, well, I don't think he must have done himself any good there because the table that was set up down there to break his fall, he just skimmed off it and crashed onto the floor.
Hit first. And then it looks like maybe they feel bad about what they've done. They go down they're going to check on him. But then they start beating him up some more and stomping on him.
When they found out he was all right.
Yeah, they found out he was
all right. We'll lay the boots in then.
Are you okay? Yeah, brother. All right, stomp me. Yeah, so that's how that little piece of business ends. And then we come back from break. They show Dude was able to get up on his own power and leave during the commercial break. We then see Marc Henry coming down to the ring, Glenn, who we've not seen in a very long time. Apparently, he had broken his ankle.
Yeah, 1996.
Yeah,
was the last time he was about.
Like a match with Jerry Lawler, wasn't it?
I don't know. I haven't got that note. It just I got Marc Henry's return to action after suffering an ankle injury that put him on the shelf at the end of 1996.
I heard a funny story when he broke his ankle. It was he was rooming with Brockus. Brockus was Marc Henry's roommate at that point. And Brockus was a health nut, big jacked up guy, and Mark's ankle's broken, he can't drive, so he's just begging, the guy, can you please go and get me some McDonald's, please? And the big German guy, the big Austrian guy's like, okay, but no milkshake. He wouldn't get him a milkshake. Yeah, so then we get it is a match fit for the Mayor of Superstars. It is Marc Henry battling the Brooklyn Brawler.
I felt sorry for the Brawler in this one.
A green Marc Henry, yeah.
He's just going to ragdoll him around the ring for 2 minutes.
Yeah, he really did. The only thing from this match that I really took out of it is that they tell us Austin left the building and he invited a TV crew to join him, and they're currently following him. Marc Henry won it with a bunch of body slams, and then he bear hugged the Brooklyn Brawler, and then he turned into fucking Knuckleball Schwartz. It was weird. He literally bear hugged him all so hard that he turned into a different gimmick. Didn't he, Glenn?
Yep.
Fucking knuckleball Schwartz, man.
I wonder whose idea that was, changing from the Brooklyn Brawler into a baseball player.
Fucking Bruce Pritchard was smoking a bunch of weed one day, and he was like, it'd be cool, man.
Yeah.
I think that's how it went.
We'll take one of our best enhancement talent and turn him into a baseball player. That'll get him over.
And but they colored his face like he was a baseball.
Yeah.
Was he a baseball player? Actually, I don't know. I was, even as a child, I was like, I don't understand this gimmick. It makes no sense. Is he a ball player or a ball? King Griffey Jr. just dressed himself up like a baseball to go out there and play. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, they start the second hour. They say that Vince McMahon's going to confront Owen Hart. We get the whole restart of the show. Vince does, in fact, make his way out to the ring. He says he knows Owen Hart is here, and he says he can hear his voice. He says he is endangering fans by climbing over them to get to Shawn Michaels. He says he doesn't give a damn about Shawn Michaels, but he cares about hurting fans.
Mm-hmm.
He tells him he is still under contract, therefore he orders him to come out to the ring. And he then does come through the crowd, though.
Yeah.
The sunglasses don't fit Owen Hart. He shouldn't wear sunglasses.
I thought he looked like Orange Cassidy coming to the ring like that.
If he had fucking a denim jacket, he would have absolutely been. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Glenn. I didn't think of that. Yeah, no, I don't know. The glasses were just a weird, odd look to me.
Yeah.
Vincent asks Owen Hart, just who do you think you are? And I think we should let Owen Hart tell Vince McMahon just who the hell he thinks he is.
Yeah. Who do I think I am? Who the hell do you think you are? You won't think I owe you an apology? Oh. I don't owe you a thing. My brother, Brent, and Neidhart, and Bulldog, they did what they had to do, and now it's time for me to do what I have to do, and that is remain right here in the World Wrestling Federation. And nobody, and I mean nobody, is gonna run me out of this company, and you know exactly who I'm talking about.
Talking about the WWF champion, Shawn Michaels. And isn't that really what it's all about, Owen? All about the WWF title, isn't it?
How stupid are you? Is that what you think this is about? You think I give a damn about a worthless title? A piece of leather with tin on it? This is real life, Vince. This is real life. My reputation, my respect, my dignity. And McMahon, don't you get me wrong. I'm not asking you. I am telling you exactly what I am going to do. And that is make Shawn Michaels' life a living hell. You can call me the sole survivor. You can call me the black sheep. I really don't give a shit. And you started it. And now it's time for this little nugget to end.
There were some wonderful signs there during that promo as well.
Oh, I didn't even notice, damn it.
Well, there was one there that said, Sonny is my fluffer.
Oh, goddamn, pal.
Yeah, okay.
I thought that was some good stuff from Owen Hart. Pretty good little promo there.
It would be if it wasn't for the fact that we know what's going to happen.
Nothing.
Yeah, and that all he's going to do is end up with the Nation of Domination dressed in warning tape.
Yeah. Yep. And after a small feud with Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
That's going to save his reputation.
Yeah, that is true. Vincent tells Owen he asks some police to come down to the ring. He tells Owen that next week he's going to come down the ramp like every other superstar and compete in the ring like every other superstar. Owen has a crazy look, and he gets closer and closer to Vince. He grabs him by his jacket. gives him a few words, lets him go, and then the cops escort him out of the arena. So, wait with bated breath trying to see who Owen Hart faces next week. I bet it's going to be the Brooklyn Brawler.
Yeah, probably.
It's going to be one of the fucking Los Perucos, I bet.
Yeah, that's more like it.
They show us what happened last week with Marc, Mero, and Sable, who was first wearing a potato sack and then very little underneath it. Like I said on last week's show, a lot of boys became men that day watching that show last week. And then we get the Sultan, which I am fucking shocked that the Sultan is still a thing by this point. I figured that they would have let that go, but nope, it's still here.
It's
and
probably
I
not
guess
after this.
What do you say?
It's probably not after this.
Maybe not. I don't know. So I guess it's Marc Mero let the cat out of the bag. He is no longer Salvador Sincere. He is now his real name, Tom Brandi, battling the Sultan. This feels like a superstar match, and I could not have cared less about it. What about you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what are we trying to do here? Are we trying to make me care about Tom Brandi?
I think so. It was just that the powers that be saw it, but none of us fans saw it.
I don't know what I mean. I don't get it. I don't understand. Unless he was somebody's grandson.
Yeah, he had the type of look that Vince liked, and it was just that he wasn't that good. No charisma.
That bell had to ring, and he had no charisma. You're right. I mean, at least Salvador Sincere had the fedora, the hat that he would wear.
Yeah,
that's something that took that away from him. He's not even a lover boy anymore. He's just still Tom Brandi.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, eventually the Iron Sheik gets up on the apron. He grabs Brandy's back Brandi grabs him back his jacket, but when the Sultan tries to hit him, he moves, and Brandi hits the Sheik instead. And then Brandi rolls him up for the win, and that's 5 minutes of my life I'll never get back. After the match, he's attacked by Marc Mero because apparently I'm supposed to want and care about a feud between Marc Mero and Tom Brandi, which I don't. Nobody cares about anything except for what the fans are chanting, which is Sable.
Yep. Yeah, you put two of the most meh men in the company at this time and try and put them in a feud.
Yeah.
When you've got Sable hanging around.
That's not going to work.
No.
The Nation then comes back down to the ring.
The hour's up.
Yeah, the hour is up. They want him to come down and give him his championship belt. He says he's pissed The Rock off. Now the Nation is going to come take the belt. Then we see Stone Cold Steve Austin on a bridge, Glenn, and maybe let's find out why Steve Austin is on this here.
Oh yeah, please.
Bridge.
When I gave this belt to you, I did just that. You didn't have to earn a damn thing. Well, tonight, son, if you want to find it, I got a few things that I'm gonna give you first. If you're gonna find it, you're gonna need a few objects. You're gonna need your little mask so that you can see under the water. You're gonna need your little snorkel. Hell, son, you might even need a regulator because you're gonna have to go eat. So I got you a little oxygen tank, and I really doubt there's any oxygen in the damn thing. But nonetheless, there the damn thing is. And I tell you what, Rock, take your little flippers because you probably can't swim worth a damn either. Here's a cell phone. When you find the damn thing, dial my number. And here's a pager. When you dial me, tell me you found your little belt. I'll page you back, put the 316, and give you the big thumbs up. Right? You're the biggest piece of trash I ever saw. It hurts me to do this, but I really don't give a damn about you or the WWF. So I'll see you a little bit later.
Oh, my. No! There goes the belt!
And that's the bottom line because the 316 said so. You piece of trash. Let him swim out there and find the damn thing. If he's lucky, he'll find it. If he don't, maybe he'll drown. I really don't give a damn what he does.
Iconic.
Yeah.
One of the iconic moments of the Attitude Era.
Classic. I remember going to school the next day, and I was in the 7th grade, which was middle
Mhm.
school. Everybody was talking about it. Everybody. I'm not sure. I'm not sure a lot of middle schools in America right now have every boy in every classroom talking about wrestling. But we all, if you didn't watch it, you were weird. Like, you don't watch wrestling.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, that's right. And the thing is that you wouldn't get away with littering a river like that now.
No,
There'd be some water board official there slapping a fine on you for throwing things in the river.
absolutely they would. No, yeah, definitely they would. But yeah, really cool. My favorite part is when is the end. It's like, you go out there and swim and fine. If not, maybe you'll drown. I don't give a damn.
That's it.
We didn't get like a video that like any fan from my era will probably remember when Vince gives the whole speech about people are tired of having their intelligence and souls and tired of having good guys versus bad guys, and he calls the war zone in Raw the cure for the common show, which I don't remember him saying that, but I guess he did.
Yeah, he's tired of that. The audience is tired of having its intelligence insulted by the simplistic good guy versus bad guys. I mean, the thing that's happening over on WCW is getting twice as many viewers as you are, Vince.
Yeah, I mean that's because that's exactly what they're doing. The bad guys are actually the good guys over on the other channel.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, wait a minute, I got to do that too. Then the Los Barricos wrapped their way to the ring, and I will say, besides the one guy, they did a much better job. That one guy should not have a mic. I don't even know why they give him a mic. He just shouldn't have one.
Yeah, Savio was a lot better this week.
Yeah, they were doing a little bit. Maybe they've had more rehearsal time, perhaps. And then we get a man that we haven't seen in a while. It's Steve Blackman. He's going to take on Jose of the Los Barricos. This is like the second or third match we've seen from Steve Blackman, maybe.
No, this is his first Raw singles match.
Okay. Because I knew he was in a tag team match in Survivor Series, but I wasn't sure if he was in another match like the night after. But this might be his second match.
He might have been in another tag match. Or
that could be. Yeah.
Multi-man match, but this is his first singles match.
Yeah, they said he's been training since the night after Survivor Series. So he decided to be a full-time wrestler. I mean, this is a squash match, right?
Yeah. Apparently, it was the Barricos that interrupted a Blackman promo after Survivor Series.
That's what it is.
It calls this.
That's where we saw him. So it wasn't a match. He was just out there talking.
Yeah.
Okay. They then showed DX. They asked Shawn Michaels what he thinks about Owen Hart to say earlier. Owen seems to be really mad at me because he stole all the belts away from his family. Hunter then asked Shawn if he took out Brett and if he took out Brett and Bulldog and he took out Jim Neidhart, does that mean it's Chyna's turn to take out Owen Hart? And Shawn says that WF is too afraid of what Chyna will do to him. So it's going to have to be one of them. And then they have to decide this, Glenn, in the only way the two men can ever decide anything, and that is a game of rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors played a lot over in the UK, Glenn?
Yep.
Okay, good. It's a worldwide thing, as it should be. Triple H wins, of course, because Shawn ain't fucking facing him. So it's going to be Hunter and Owen Hart. That's going to be the next two that you say. They talk about the main event a little bit, and then they kind of mock the what a rush thing. So then we get him like it's DX versus LOD, and like this match is burned within my brain. I don't know about you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just the whole ending of it. I don't really remember the match. I remember the ending of it. Just a lot of foreshadowing here, which I don't even think they knew what they were foreshadowing yet, but they were foreshadowing something. So Hawk and Michaels start off the match. Hawk uses his power to kind of throw Shawn Michaels around a little bit. He has a big clothesline on him. They throw him to the outside of the ring. He drops him across the guardrail. It was a pretty good heel versus babyface tag team match. How long did this match get, Glenn? How many minutes?
7 minutes 40.
I thought it was about 8 minutes. I thought it was good. You got any notes from this one?
It was the usual LOD fare, lots of clotheslines. Shawn and Hunter taking bumps all over the place for him. And then the New Age Outlaws come out.
Yep.
And to my surprise and utter delight, because you don't see it these days, Ethan Hawke.
Yeah. The WrestleMania 9'd him.
Yes.
The Undertaker and Johnny Gonzalez, yeah.
Yeah, I think that should be. I think that should be brought back in by somebody, possibly a certain heel that uses knuckle dusters all the time. Could use an Ethan cloth.
Oh, yeah. That'd be right up his alley. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But it was nice to see a bit of old school.
Yeah, they do that to Hawk.
1980s wrestling coming into it.
Yeah, they do that to Hawk. While Animal's still in the ring with DX. Eventually, China gets in there, low blows Animal too. So they lose by DQ. But they don't care. They start beating him with the belt. They beat him with the European belt, and Road Dogg and Billy start shaving one side of Hawk's mohawk while he's out cold. DX was loving this. They thought this was amazing. They were laughing while it was happening. They all head over to the outside of the ring. They powerbomb Animal off the apron through the announce table. Just a real beat down and a real break apart of the LOD here by these four guys. And you can kind of see like DX is kind of like, because and the New Age Outlaws leave and they kind of let DX have the ring. And then DX is kind of watching the guys go up the ramp thinking, those guys are okay. Maybe, And I remember as a kid thinking, oh my God, these fucking guys are going to join him too. I remember legitimately thinking that. I didn't say fucking because I would have gotten in trouble, but I remember thinking these fucking guys are going to join DX too. But yeah, that's the end of this episode. And I would say, even though we had a couple of okay wrestling matches and a good tag team match at the end, I'm going to give this thing 2 solid thumbs up because they had some really good storytelling, some really good shit in it. So
2 thumbs up.
No way.
It was a much better episode to start with. The destruction of the Legion of Doom, the Austin Bridge segment, which everybody still remembers that ever saw it, and Owen's interaction with Vince was absolutely amazing. It's strange that everybody at this time is forgetting that Shawn is the world champion because Austin is stealing all the limelight.
That's true. He's definitely overshadowed because when I think about it, I don't really think about putting them as the guys on the top of the card. I think more about Austin. Absolutely. I think more of The Rock even before I think of Shawn Michaels at this point.
Yeah, that's it. That's the pecking order. Austin, The Rock, Michaels, and Hunter.
Yeah. So, Glenn, do you want to hear the matches that we missed because we watched Raw instead of Nitro? And then I'm going to tell you.
Yes, please.
So we missed, in a very 1980s wrestling match, Ray Traylor, also known as the Big Boss Man, defeated Vincent, also known as Virgil. Disco Inferno defeated Eugene Nagata. Fuck you every day of the week. I wish I hadn't read that. Why on earth would Disco Inferno ever beat the fucking legend Eugene fucking Nagata? I know why WCW went out of business. Fit Finlay defeated Dean Malenko. Randy Savage defeated Booker T. Buff Bagwell defeated Lex Luger. And in the main event, Glenn, he's back because Ric Flair defeated Kurt Hennig by DQ for the United States Championship. So after 2 weeks of not being in the main event, Kurt Hennig's back, Barther. He is in the main event. The TV ratings for this week, WCW beat WWE handily once again with a 4.11 to a 2.69. So they beat them by almost a full 2 points once again. But I believe things will be turning around very soon. So there you have it. That is it. That's all.
I just want to see. Is it Finley against?
Oh, I'm sorry, I took it down now. It's Dean Malenko. Finley Dean Malenko, I think.
That is the match from that card that I'd want to watch. That was hard hitting.
It was probably like 4 minutes long, but I'm sure it's a good 4 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, Glenn. Well, who do you need to plug before we get out of here?
I'm booking the territory. Danny and Rob, looking at the first and last of wrestling with their little side projects as well. Unstacking the Dadatory, the road to Wembley 1981 for Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks.
You had
being the elite Gator Golf. That's the other thing I wanted to. I keep on thinking of. I can't. I can never remember the title of the Tank Abbott series.
Oh yeah,
You've nicked the Sid thing from. So, yeah, they're great. DDT Wrestling with DC and Doc, and of course,
the Doctor Who podcast with Danny Inside. Check that out on SJP World Media. And of course, give our buddy, our co-host, the Mayor of Canton, a follow on the Twitter X. He does a meal with the Mayor every Wednesday where he tries something fast food related, so you can try it and see how delicious it is. And also, of course, make sure you follow our buddy Thomas Bryce and check out SportsWire Radio, sportswireradio.org. That's sports with a Z radio.org. Hit that listen live button and hear many great shows, including ours. And of course, make sure you check out the other shows we got going on. We all have a new episode of Walking in Merifist. Of course, as I told you earlier, we'll be live tonight. So join us at 8:30 Eastern time. We're going to be talking Clash at the Castle, other wrestling, and then watching an episode of Memphis Wrestling. Also, The Life and Times of Psycho Sid. We got a new episode out right now, but also coming out on Friday, Mr. Dan Griffin from the said UTT and the Doctor Who podcast will be joining us to watch the Raw Bowl. So be on the lookout for that. That'll be out this Friday. That is it. That is all. The only thing left now is for Glenn to tell you good day.
Goodbye.